Welcome back to Dubsy Bricks for another episode of Building Mandalore and Lego. And starting this week off with a haul. This came from lego.com and it's only taken about a week to get here, so that's really good. And I've got some of the inverted slopes here, the normal slopes. These are for the smaller builds of Mandalore. I had to borrow them off of those builds for the bigger buildings I've recently done. There's some of the 1x2 inverted slopes in the dark bluish grey. The arch pieces, they are for my Gotham build series, as are these 1x2x5 bricks in dark bluish grey. However, they might end up going on Mandalore as well, you never know. And also in here, I've got all of the pieces you need to do the colour swap on the June Ornithopter as well. I bought the set about a month or so ago, and I wanted to get all of the pieces so that you don't have the little red bits or yellow bits on display. So I've got all the parts I think I need for that. So looking forward to building that sometime in the future and making sure it's got the right colour pieces in there. Anyway, without further ado, let's get these parts over to the build table and let's get building. Last week I made a start on this building here on the left hand side, and this is the miniature build that I did at the very beginning of the build series. This is what I was visualising the mock to look like once it's finished, and you'll see just at the back there is another building, and I do want to build that in here. I'm anticipating it being a very similar height to this building just here, maybe a smidge wider, but what I want to do is actually integrate it into this wall. When I built this last week, I totally forgot I was going to put another build in there, so I'm just going to break the bricks off down the far end there and build across in dark bluish grey as opposed to the light bluish grey. I think the colour contrast will look good, and then I'll carry on building up on the inside here. Now, last week I mentioned this section here is going to be a cut section, so you can see through from that side, and there'll be numerous rooms in here like the prison cells, the lift shaft where Bo-Katan has her battle as well. So I want to just build the beams up on this side. I was able to get to the Blanchardstown Lego store this week, and me and Mrs. Dubsy Bricks spent a few hours up there filling boxes up with the 2x2 bricks and the bricks I need for the back wall just there. So I've got enough to do this entire building. The only thing they didn't have, the 2x8 and the 2x2 plates, which I need. Now I have managed to find out these 2x8 plates here. So I reckon I've got enough plates to get probably about 50 or 60 bricks high on this side, and I will be going to Dublin on Tuesday, so fingers crossed I'll be able to get into the main Dublin store and they'll have some more plates in there. But anyway, without further ado, let's crack on with the building. And the height of the building is starting to grow. Started the building on the side here to come out, and I have put a hole on the side there where I put another doorway using the snot technique. Not sure what I'm going to be putting in this section here, whether it's going to be some of the trans blue glass or a pattern. Not sure on that bit, but I'll make a decision on that shortly. Again, on this bit here, just still deciding whether or not I want to put any rooms in there. If I do, I'm just going to have to remove the first row of pillars, which isn't a big problem there. On this part here, as you'll see in the time lapse, I did put another row of pillars in initially, as I was going to start the interior that a little bit further up. However, I was a little bit concerned that it might look a little bit crowded. I don't want to be restricted to how much room I can build in there. I'd sooner build the room in and then cap it off and then have a lot of bricks above it. So a lot of decisions to make with that. One other thing I do need to do is order some more lights, as I would like to put some lights in that part of the building and also in the throne room. However, I have got absolutely nothing from Light My Bricks, so I do need to place another order with them. So that's something I've got to work out exactly what I'm going to need, and then I'll do the required on that section there. So it might slow down how much building I can actually get done on this part just here, but this side I can just carry on building. Now over on here, I am contemplating having a building coming out. I was considering putting this building in here. This one was just going to stand somewhere on the back there. However, I think it'll possibly look better protruding from the wall here. So I just need to again decide whether or not I want to do that. But yeah, all good fun. So just make a few decisions and then I can carry on building. And a couple of decisions been reached on this side of the building. At the back there, I'm going to be having another pattern, which is on some jumper plates. So that's set back by half a stud. And here is where I'm going to be putting the next protruding building. So this is the one that I built in a previous update, and that's going to come up to probably around about so high, I think. Then there'll be a little bit more, and then there'll be a walkway that goes around the top of it. But at least now I know where I'm going on this side to start with. Still got to decide on that section just there. However, that part I can work on a little bit later. So anyway, let's carry on building this up and see what it looks like. And I made a slight amendment to the building that hangs out here. I brought it out by one stud, and that was just purely so I could put a window in this end section here as well with a grey frame around it. Previously, it was an odd number of studs and it just didn't work, so that's all good now. On this section here, I've started moving the pillars back so I can add the rooms that are going to be going in here. So now I've done that, I was going to build some walls all the way around that, put a floor in it, and I'll probably just have 2 rooms in there, and then I can build all the way across that section just there. And that's the building all integrated into the side of the structure there. And as you can see, I've gone for the glass effect on the side here as opposed to the tan blue bricks I had on the original building. And I just think that little bit of extra light trans blue does give it more of a Mandalore feel on here. I'm really happy with how that's come out. I like the pattern on this section just here. It's just nice and simple, but it breaks up the light bluish grey. However, I'm not convinced on this section just here. I think I'm going to have a look at some images online of Mandalore and see if there's anything else I can put in that section. I do want there to be a building, but that's just not working for me. So that's going to be one of the things I'm going to be working on over the coming week. On this section here, I put this dark bluish grey part in. Down the bottom, it's going to be glass, and I think I put a pattern of some description on that bit, but again, it's something I just need to work out, visualise exactly how I want it. Now, this building at the moment is probably about just under half the height of what it's going to be. So I'm going to go probably about another 3 or 4 bricks up higher, and then there'll be a walkway that goes around the whole building. And then I'll carry on building up above until we get to the throne room. This section here is probably at the height that it's going to be finished at, and then that will be plated off the same as these 2 parts here. It'll either be a courtyard or a speeder landing platform. Got to put some doors in on the snot bricks on these 2 sections here, and again work out exactly what details I want to put on that part. But all in all, really happy with how this building is coming on. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. The more people we have on board, the easier it is for others to find the channel. If you know anybody else that you think will be interested in building Mandalore or building Gotham, if you could share the channel with them, it'd be very much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for popping by, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.